this world, angels live among us. Many great invincible beings of immeasurable power, a bridge between us and the gods. These creatures are not as you might imagine them. While some are human-like in their appearance, most are alien. A sitting mountain, a giant boar, a hovering sphere. Each of the angels provides a powerful boon to the surrounding area and its inhabitants. They do not speak to us. They do not move. We built our world around them. They shaped our cultures. We rely on them. Until something dark came along. Now, one by one, the angels have been slain. The people of the lands around them slaughtered. A wave of death is spreading across our world. Only a few places remain as a final bastion of life. Only a few against an endless horde of oblivion. And within these few, a single band of unlikely heroes, bound by forces beyond their understanding. In this world, there is only a single word that describes their soul-bound connection.
Cirrus, as you stand by yourself, with the others missing from the monastery, looking about you, you see the glowing walls of the monastery with that kind of, after they lit up with the moonlight from the spell cast by Jildan, the three companions of yours sort of shimmer for a moment, and then they kind of blur, and then they disappear, almost in like a heat mirage. What do you do?
I immediately begin looking for them. I'm looking around the room. Did anything else in the room change, or just them?
Just them. It was like they were, it's almost as if they just sort of turned invisible to you.
Yeah. Dang. Didn't I hear laughing a moment ago?
Yes, you did. There is a cackling from further in. It's difficult to discern a particular direction. This hallway kind of curves, but you do hear a as this happens.
Jildan? Seer? Thrak?
Make me a
Can you hear me?
perception check.
Okay. $28.
The room begins to heat up. The air around you begins to shift suddenly. It grows sort of thick and unbearably hot. Suddenly, the two exits from this room that lead further into the monastery ignite with flame, blocking the path, and kind of this arcane fire sits and blocks your exits. There is the room behind you with all of the beds that were in there from the the monks that might have lived here some time ago. But beyond that, you are sort of trapped in this circular room. The pressure of the room becomes quite heavy and oppressive, pushing down on you somewhat as the temperature begins to rise and rise and rise. It actually starts to almost burn your skin. You're not sort of taking any damage, but you feel that's the level of heat, like you're trapped in an oven. Then, without warning, there is a sort of blinding flash as the space before you shifts and the ground beneath your feet trembles violently. Cracks of molten fire tear through the earth, spewing flames upwards in these sort of hellish arcs. The others have returned. They stumble around you suddenly. You recognize that Jildan looks very injured. Thrak looks pretty injured. Sia looks okay, I think. Is that right? Sia, you don't look too
That's
bad
right.
here.
I'm fine.
But they do suddenly kind of like within this flash and in this moment, suddenly as you kind of shield your eyes, they've returned. There is a thick swirling smoke, and you can see now sort of slowly emerging up and out from the ground, these two long kind of bony looking hands that are completely covered and wreathed in blazing fire. Pulling itself up is a creature pulling itself up almost as if it's through the ground, but you don't see the ground breaking. It's almost like an illusory thing as it's pulling itself into this kind of dimension. You have, and you may, as a reaction here, I will give you the chance to heal one person with a spell if you would like. If you just want to launch a spell out before this combat begins, you can.
When you say heal one person, can I launch one single spell?
Or yeah, do you know what? You
You
can launch one spell here if you'd like.
Okay, I will. They all look pretty worse for wear, right?
Yeah.
Jildan the worst.
Jildan and
Okay.
Thrak look real bad.
Okay. I'm going to cast Mass Cure Wounds.
I'll allow it. Okay.
So it's 22 healing for each of you.
This spell immediately reacting to your returning presence. You see Sia, Jildan, Thrak, as you snap out from the illusion that Anawari had trapped you in, and you turn about for a moment. You recognize the flames that is blocking the doorways. You see Cirrus almost reactively and reflexively as you appear. She launches out this spell and recovers 22 of your hit points if you needed that kind of recovering. I'm going to bring you back over to our map over here, and I'm going to need you all to roll me some initiative, please. Yeah.
8.
Appearing and pulling itself out from the ground, as well as two creatures. Hold on a second here. Appearing in the other room in this sweltering heat and in this burning form. You again see this form of a sort of monstrous creature wreathed in blazing fire, radiating like an inferno, eyes like two molten suns, smoke and flame. The skin on this thing, well, it's not really skin, it's kind of just bones with what looks like charred sort of black skin that's just sitting on the bones. You can see this huge frame start to pull itself up and out. It's probably about 16 foot tall when it reaches its full standing height, as it drags itself upwards. And the very presence of this creature warps the air around it. It is extremely hot in the area that you can see sort of illuminated around this thing. You will be suffering extreme heat, I guess we'll say for now. Let me roll some initiative. Popping up behind you as well and entering into this space are two little mephits floating and chittering. These are kind of like little burning imps that are behind you guys. The fire is sort of alive and twisting, sitting in the doorways, and I don't understand why this is not working, but I guess we'll just do this and see how that works out for me. That worked. Okay, that'll do. Alright. It is at the top of the round Thrak's turn to respond as this burning creature follows you up and out of Anaware's illusory world and into reality.
These methods, are they flying?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a cast fly on myself. So I can just move really fast and I can fly.
Okay. What a shocker. That's what the
what that
spell
does.
does.
Wait, is
How-
this a fire wall here?
Yep, you're
Making
running
this
straight
roll.
into arcane flame right there.
Gotcha. Well, I don't think I would do that because I would see it.
Yep.
So I'll fly into the air. Then I'll do what was that? I'll do 30 feet in the air. Is there room for that?
Yeah, the ceiling's pretty tall in here. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's pretty high up.
Okay, that is my turn.
We'll say 60 feet just to make it easy. Okay, Thrak just flies upwards, and it is Seer's turn. Now, let me remind myself about this bullshit that's going on with this demon here. A creature that starts its turn in the aura needs to make me... Oh, fuck. You don't make any save. You just take some damage. Roll me
Ooh.
2d10.
16.
You take 16 radiant damage.
Wow, okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, now it's your turn. So if you're within the aura of that creature there, the orange, you will and start your turn there, or enter it for the first time on a turn, you will take 2d10 radiant damage. There is for some reason just not a save. So
All right.
it's
Well, in that
pretty brutal.
case, seared by the creature, I'm
Wow.
going to run into this room. This is 35 feet to this, and then encounter this magma mephit. And I suppose I'm now going to beat it with a stick,
All right.
as is my way.
Yeah.
A 25 to hit.
Mess with these creatures. If you see them flashing in and out of existence, don't worry. They are appearing incorrectly on the stream, and I don't know how to change the fact that they are in the wrong spots. 25 definitely hits this creature, yeah.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
8 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay.
And then I swing.
Wow.
you.
Excuse me. I
But a
swing
dust thick
again.
enough in this dungeon.
Yeah, bit of a dusty dungeon. About that 12 to hit, I sneeze and miss my swing. I then go ahead into my extra attack, flurry of blows stuff. Punch at it for an 18 to hit.
Almost definitely does. Yep, hits. Oh,
8
the
points
12
of-
hits as well.
Oh, okay. So that's 16 more points of bludgeoning damage then.
All right. How do you destroy this creature?
I think I'm just fists glowing. I'm just punching at its weak points, the frailest parts of its body. It's got these stalky wings. I'm punching at the wings and then at its beak with an uppercut, I think.
Yeah. And then it explodes. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
These things have a
That's an
death
18.
burst. Okay, you only take half of max damage, which is 6
Okay.
fire damage this time. You
So
punch this thing and it just explodes in front of you with a death burst. Yep.
Okay, so in that case, I only take 3 because I have Monk's Evasion.
Yep. Okay. Still your turn.
That would be the end of my turn. I have no more movement.
All right, Cirrus, you need to roll me 2d10.
Yep.
And take 17 radiant damage as this thing ignites, burning the area around it, and then it is the beginning of your turn. What do you do?
Okay. Let me just quickly take this. Easy peasy 17. No problem. I look around. How many mephits are there?
There is one left. This one's dead.
Okay. I look at the others. Do we need to buy time?
From the corridor, you hear, "For what?"
Yes, no, maybe.
What are you
I'm
asking?
going to cast Autoluke's Resilient Sphere around the fire demon.
Sure.
Ooh.
I have no idea what this is. Okay.
It's a sphere of shimmering force. It encloses the creature or object of large size. Is it large?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Unwilling creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Yeah, this
If-
thing appears. Let me make you a dex save. A 26.
Oh no!
Okay, well,
that would have been so
yeah.
cool.
I'm so
Okay.
incredibly good at rolling dice for this campaign, and I'm so sorry.
Hurts me. It would have been so cool because it would have been encased in a sphere
a
and it couldn't do
19.
anything for up to a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that you have that
No
spell
energy
now.
can come out of the sphere, so that's, damage and all. Okay, anyway,
Is that
cool,
a
I'm gonna
level
run
4?
back.
Aw.
Ow.
Yeah, it
Is that
was.
level 4 or 5?
It was a level 4 spell.
Ouch.
It was a level 4 spell.
With a DC of 17. I'm sad for you.
It's okay.
And do anything else? You
It's
got a
okay.
bonus action.
Yeah. Everyone's still kind of hurting, as far as I can tell, so I'm going to do a mass healing word at level 4. Cool. Everyone gets 6 points of healing damage.
6 points of healing damage for everyone. The magma mephit behind Sia, chittering, flies over towards Sia and will attempt to attack him. What do you have here? Claws. Oh no, it has a fire breath weapon. Cool. Make me a dex saving throw. As it opens its tiny little mouth.
13.
And an enormous gout of flame launches out. You make the save, but you will take half of another 2d6.
Alright.
Okay,
That sounds painful.
Because of my evasion, I think I take nothing.
Okay.
As its tiny little mouth opens up and I kind of just dance according to, I don't know, how the gout of his mouth opens. And get out the way.
Yeah, the little creature sort of launches flame towards you. You sort of dance out of the way of it, its little eyes following you as it starts to fly towards you again. That'd be the end of the Mephit's turn, bringing us to Jildan.
Okay, 2 things. One, owing to the fact that there's a lot of fire and light in this room, would I be able to see further than just my very limited vision?
You know what? You would. I will give this thing more light, because this thing, you should be able to see a bright light off of this thing up to 30 feet away. Tell me if that helps you.
Yeah, that does help. Second thing, what are your DM limitations on the use of an inspiration point?
There are no limitations.
Okay,
I
so
win the
it's
game.
not just to... Yippee! I win the encounter.
It's watching everyone.
Can I utilize it to cast a spell that would usually take a minute to cast as an instant cast instead?
Oh, okay. There are limitations.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
I didn't realize that what you were literally saying. Can I win the game with an inspiration point?
No. It's just... it's
No,
like a win.
an inspiration point will give you advantage on any roll.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I thought that was standard. Is that not standard? It's been so
I
long
think so,
since I
but
ran.
it's been a while since I've
learned
looked at
all
it
of
as
this
well.
stuff, and I never give out inspiration points because I forget they exist.
Since it's homebrew, I wasn't sure if you had your own rules as well.
No,
Okay.
but next campaign, if you get an inspiration point from me, you can exchange it to win the game.
I just had a spell that I really wanted to use. I was like, this
Yeah.
is perfect. And then I realized I don't have a minute to fucking cast it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna, yeah, all of the, does this fire create smoke in this room?
Yeah, there's loads of smoke billowing off of this thing. The arcane fire behind you is not creating any smoke, but the creature is.
All right.
Also, the tapestries, the beautiful tapestries that are around, all ignite with flame as they catch fire under this thing. So they're also creating smoke.
The smoke begins to coalesce and form into storm clouds as once again I cast Call Lightning. The storm clouds gather above this creature, this big fire demon.
All right, I'll allow it, but is smoke really a cloud?
Well, it's more of a flavor thing, since you said I could cast in this room anyway.
We don't know with science, so it's
No,
fine.
exactly. Who knows how science works? It's truly.
Myre is vibrating
seeding.
right now.
Yeah, the scientific method.
Well, look, the smoke, the hot air, something to do with the smoke. It would all create that hot
I'll
cold
allow
anyway
it.
that would create a lightning storm.
I
So whatever, man.
100% am stupid enough to believe that smoke is a cloud. It's fine.
So that's a dex save, please.
Okay.
As a bolt of lightning smacks it directly on top of its little head.
24.
How unexpected that you would roll a save.
I'm so sorry. The thing is, you guys are coming up against more difficult monsters as you level
That's
up.
not an excuse.
And they all have these like +7 dex saves and shit now, so.
It still takes half damage.
Okay.
So 15 halved, so I guess 7.
7.
Lightning damage.
Lightning damage. It is also resistant to lightning damage, so it reduces
cool.
that down to 3 damage. Yeah, it doesn't even notice this as it continues to pull itself up and out of the ground, and this bolt of lightning strikes it. It just continues to stand up as if nothing
I'm gonna
happened
move
at all.
back as well. A few steps, like. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Fire Demon's turn. Let's see what you can do. Oh, he's fast too. This creature continues to pull itself up out of the ground here. The area around where you see this thing stepping up out of the ground, pulling itself into this realm, erupts into an inferno. There are sort of pillars of flame that begin to shoot up out of the ground around it. and you feel that heat intensify as the flames climb higher and higher, turning this sort of room into a blazing hellscape. It is going to clamber across the room here towards you, and I think it's just gonna go ahead and stand right here. And as it gets closer and closer and closer, you can see it begins to intensify its sort of blistering radiance here, that aura around it. And I'm going to need everyone who is within that aura, the three of you, to make me Constitution saving throws.
I would like to make an argument that rolling dice isn't necessary and we can just make things up.
That was a thing you could do at one point in this campaign, but no longer, for you are no longer in the Astral Sea.
Also check out non-canon on Fridays.
But please tune in to non-canon, where I'm sure I would allow that.
18.
Sorry, Constitution saving throw?
Yes, please. 15 is a fail, 18 is a pass.
Ooh.
An 8.
8 is a fail. All right, here we go. The damage you take is 28
Exponential.
radiant
Jesus, it is.
damage.
Holy fuck. Do I take half that?
Rack, you take half.
I've got to do
And
concentration.
Jildan and Cirrus, you take a level of exhaustion as well.
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay.
it's
As
good
this
that I don't have any...
flame, the flame around this creature brightens to the point where you have to sort of shield your eyes, and on top of that, the heat in this room, the heat as you back yourselves up against the wall here, just rises so high that I think you feel it kind of push the energy out of your body, and the creature that's sort of moving towards you, a twisted face somewhere within the flames, continues to move towards you, continues to sort of press that heat and pressure, and this magma mephit is actually dead. That is the end of his turn. It is in fact Thorak's turn.
I'd just like to say for the record, because I know you're that kind of GM, I did do a Constitution saving throw to make sure that I'm still flying. And
Thank you
also,
very much.
would I have taken damage because I'm 30 feet in the air?
Yes, you are. It is 30 feet away from you, and you are 30 feet up, so you're right on the edge of it. So I'm gonna say yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, I will use my movement to move an additional 30 feet into the air. Which I guess is dangerous, actually. No, I'm not going to do that. I take that back.
Okay.
I didn't take my hand off the piece.
Sure.
Chest thing. Okay. I'm going to cast. I'm going to try a little. It's not really. I'm going to do Phantasmal Killer on this thing.
Ooh. Watch him roll a 55. Just watch.
I tap into the nightmares of a creature I can see within range and create an illusionary manifestation of its deepest fears. Visible only to that creature, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened for a duration.
Let me guess, he's resistant to frightened.
That's a good point. Let me check. No, but he does have a couple of extra points towards his wisdom saving throw. Let's see. Oh, 10.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Yeah, I think he just sees a bucket of
fails.
water, you know?
So he a giant pail of
It's
water.
gotta be.
Oh god. So he takes 40-10 psychic damage, and then he's afraid. He's scared.
All right, give
Let
me
me
the
see
damage.
if I have that roll. Yeah, I do. 27.
27
Pretty good roll.
psychic damage. Yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, the thing just starts freaking out and thrashing at something above its head, acting almost as if it was sort of being hurt by something. What else do you do on your turn?
I'm gonna move over here.
No.
Fly.
Flying. And you're still 30 feet up?
I'll move. Let's go with. I think I still have 10 movement speed, so I'll go 10 feet down. I'm
Okay.
20 feet in the air now.
Alright, Sia, your turn.
Okay, I am going to run down to this method and surprise, beat it with a stick. For 22 to hit.
That hits.
So 7 punches of bludgeoning damage, and then again with the stick, 27 to hit.
That hits.
9, so a total of 16 points of bludgeoning damage, and then I'm going to then start punching it. That's a natural 1, which will bring my nat 1 counter up to 1, and another unarmed punch for 21 to hit
That hits.
for 5 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So I'm 1 HP. What do you want to do about it?
Cry to myself.
Okay. For the end of your
Valid.
turn.
Very valid.
That's my turn.
Alright. Cirrus, it is your turn.
Yes.
You need to roll me 2d10 and take that much radiant damage.
Oh, God. Whew, okay. Minus 13. Okay, I'm going to cast Autoluke's Resilient Sphere.
Okay. And that was
It's a
dex save?
dexterity saving throw.
17?
17. It's a 17.
Makes
My
it.
Makes it, breaks it. He's
Makes it, breaks it. Oh no.
he resists the sphere. The sphere sort of begins to come down around this creature as it's reacting to some sort of weird psychic shit in the air that only it can see. And then it sort of snaps out of it, and you see it push its hands out, and it just sort of shatters what was being created of this sphere around it.
Am I within slapping distance here if I try to run away? I don't think I am.
You are, yes.
1 square. Oh, I am. Okay.
Because you're connected by this corner.
Right.
You should. I
Okay.
think you. No, you're right. You can't click on his thing. But yeah, you are
Okay.
within his threat.
Okay.
It is
Cool.
all of the squares around his token.
I'm gonna make a run for it, I think, because oh god, it's like guaranteed damage versus risk of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What I'm gonna do is, give me a second. I'm gonna healing word myself
Mm-hmm.
at level 1. I'm gonna take 8 plus 8, and then I'm going to try and run.
Okay.
So he gets a hit on me, right?
Potentially.
Just real quick, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We haven't put a marker for this phantasm that it's seeing, but it does have to run away from it. I would
Oh, it
put
does?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's frightened.
At the end of its turn, it has to run away.
The target becomes frightened for the duration, and then I looked up frightened, and it says a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls.
Yeah.
And while
its
it
sphere,
sort of appears within its line of sight, and the creature can't willingly move. Oh, it can't willingly move closer. It doesn't have to run. It just can't
Fine.
go that direction.
Okay.
So, I guess I put it here.
I'll see if I have a bucket.
A bucket of water.
A bucket of
Water.
a bucket of water.
water.
A bottle of water.
Yeah. So Cirrus, you can still continue to do whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and disengage and run away.
Okay. Disengage is an action, so you're just.
Oh,
running,
sorry. I'm just gonna
technically,
run
but
away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
Yeah. Move
take a
wherever
hit.
you're moving.
Is he gonna hit me?
We'll try.
Well, you won't know until you move.
Got it.
So you tell me where you're running to, and then we'll figure it out. I don't know if I
Ooh,
have an
I'm
image of a
still-
bucket. I think I can just pull in this image from
Oh
Google.
god. Wait, Jilden is at 1? Oh no. This is so bad.
I don't think you'd even see me because I'm around the corner, so you probably wouldn't even be able to tell
Okay.
based on eyesight here.
Okay. I've run to this corner.
Yep, it doesn't attack you as you leave.
Ooh.
Interesting.
He saved his reaction.
Going into some time.
Okay, that's the end of my turn. Thank you.
That is the end of your turn. I don't know why nothing. Roll20 is failing me today. There you go. There's a bucket. We're just going to call that a bucket.
Yeah. A barrel of water.
A barrel.
Piece.
It's
a
a barrel
of
of
water.
water. All right, you run into there, Cirrus, the magma mephit in front of Sia. I guess I can see if he recharges this thing on a 6. Nope. This thing is just going to start. Well, maybe actually. Yeah,
I've cheated.
of course.
I'm a cheater. Phantasmal killer's concentration.
Oh.
Okay. Have you taken damage?
But you haven't lost your concentration,
I'm
right?
flying. I can't fly and
We can't do both, yeah.
do that. So my flight would have broken when I cast the spell. I would have fallen, taken damage, and died. So just kill me.
I'll say that you cast Phantasmal Killer for the damage, but the bucket is gone.
Okay.
Just because I don't know how else to retcon that at this
That's
point.
a huge mistake. Really, honestly, you should have me out of the campaign.
No, I don't know how to retcon
Can't
the
believe that.
additional
that's
elements
too-
of
it's-
that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I don't.
we'll
there's
just
too much
say that
going on.
you are able to cast that as an attack, but not have the additional elements. Like it's not still floating there. That's the concentration element. You just scare it with damage and then carry on flying rather than.
I do scare damage,
Old
and now
scare
Jilden's
damage.
alone with no bucket of water to protect her. Goodbye, Jilden.
Yeah. All right. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Are you wearing any metal, Sia?
Me, am I wearing any metal?
Any metal on you anywhere?
I need to check my character art because I don't think I am. I wouldn't be
This comes
otherwise.
down to
Check our
Palamar.
character.
Yeah.
Did you draw any metal on him? And this is all on the pressure now on Palamarchupaka for the artwork. Did you? Because if you did draw Sia with metal on him, then it's going to start to heat up. If you
Oh
didn't,
my god.
you may have just saved his life.
I don't think that's metal.
He doesn't have any metal. Oh, maybe.
I love that you delivered that. Oh my god, exactly like that meme where they go, "Oh my god, it's John Wick." Oh my god, it's heat metal.
Oh my god.
Okay, you have you don't have a sword or anything, do you?
Nope.
All right, well then, no earrings.
No earrings, no.
Any nipple piercings?
No. He
Any
has
other
he has,
piercings?
he has silver
Yeah, we know
rings
he's got one.
around one of his locks, but that's about it really.
They probably get a little hot, but I don't think. I think you avoid this. The little method
Okay.
is heating up the metal on your body, but there isn't any. So that's the end of his turn. Jilden, you need to roll 2d10.
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god, it's John Wick. You did it again.
Oh my god, it's Jill.
You take 11 radiant damage.
Alright, well, I am down, but then I am back up again. You're never gonna keep me down because of my, thing.
Undead
Soul
bullshit.
Anchor.
Soul anchor.
For every round I remain at 1 HP, I must make a DC 10 con save at the start of my turn. On a failure, I am forcibly ejected from my body and become a ghostly incorporeal version of myself for up to an hour. So, when do I do this roll? At the start of my next turn? No?
Let me read it again. Because I've not seen it in a while. If you drop to 0 hit points, you don't fall unconscious. Instead, you remain at 1 hit point, but your soul begins to slip from your body. For every round you remain at 1 HP, you must make a DC 10 con save. I think probably from this one makes much more sense because you...
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Alright,
you
con
just
save coming up.
There we go.
12. Whew.
12, so you make
Right.
it. Yeah.
I'm at
Otherwise,
1 HP.
yeah, we go through this.
Still boiling in her shell.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable. Not gonna lie.
It's
Okay.
starting to smell good.
Hey, less of it.
Right, it's your
Ever have
turn.
turtle soup, lad?
I'm starting to feel a bit desperate here. I feel like I've been locked in this corner and I don't like it. In a fit of desperation, I cast the light at the fire demon, which is a con save.
Here we go.
Unsure if...
Ooh.
6.
Unsure if this will even have a major effect on it. It's 36 points of necrotic damage.
Let's see here.
Oh my god. Oh my
Seems
god.
Oh, you did it
In
again.
effect.
Yeah, you deal the full 36 to this creature as you see the flames
Oh my
begin to
God.
sort of they twist and shift in the shape. The already sort of blackened, charred form of the sort of bony structure that makes up this thing's twisted, long body. I guess twists with necrotic energy, but you see the flames and the lightness dim a little bit as this light takes hold. Anything else on your turn?
Yes. It also would draw any moisture from it. Not all, but you know, some moisture. I'm going to cast a healing word on myself, which feels like a sort of cheat way of not having to do another con save.
It's not a cheap way, it's just the rules of how that
I
works.
know, but it's just bad. All right, so that's 5 healing, someone's 6. And let's see, can I get myself out of this corner?
Well, you need to
Not
get
really.
to 10 hit points before you can save yourself from
Is
con
that what it
save.
says?
Yeah, so you've...
It just says if you start at 1 hit point, for every round you remain at 1 hit point, you must make a DC 10 con save.
Oh, right, yeah, it's how to get back in your body is you need to heal to 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I should be
Yep,
fine
yep,
for now.
so you're fine, yeah.
All right, I run, but I'm just at the edge, unfortunately, of this circle.
Great,
And that's
okay.
the end of my
and
turn.
then that means you need to not do anything, actually. Let's
God.
see. First of all, I guess I'll see if he recharges this ability. Yep.
Technology recharged.
Technology recharged. The creature just teleports.
Huh?
Yeah. Into here.
Oh!
Oh no.
It can magically teleport in here.
He was planning that the whole time.
Yeah,
He
well,
thought you were
maybe.
safe.
And actually that's the end of its turn. That's its action. It is Thrax's turn.
Really? Alright. I will move. Do a little fly over here so I can get line of sight. And I'm gonna take out that magma method. I think I've got. Oh, it's 60 feet. Okay, so I need to get a little closer. One thing closer.
One thing closer.
One thing. It's called a square, you idiot. All right, I'll do just a ray of frost on that magma method, and because of my little side quest, I get advantage. So 21.
21's going to hit. You need
I'll
to do
do
1 damage to it, but yeah.
Well, I've done 10.
It explodes. Sia,
Oh shit! Sorry, man.
make me a
It's
dexterity saving throw.
Just
As
make the safe.
this thing flies towards the.
Just make the save. Just make the save. 23.
Yeah, you make the
Nice.
save. The ray of frost or whatever it is launches forwards, strikes this creature, and then it explodes, dealing 11 fire damage to anyone nearby, which would be Sia, and you can do whatever bullshit you have.
Well, I am a monk, and therefore I use evasion. Because I succeed, basically I kind of step in the wake of the ice bolt and then like get cooled by it as the blast wave happens, and so net negative. Well, net neutral. Even. Net negative.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Thrak, still your turn.
No, it is not.
No, you're done. Sia.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. At this point, I'm kind of wishing I didn't use action surge to look at a light. As I turn to the fire demon, and I pull out my stick again and bait it with it for a 26 to hit.
Oh, first of all, you need to roll 2d10 and take that much radiant damage.
Oh yeah. Imagine if it's 20. 19!
Oh my god, dude! Why do you roll good now? Get the whole campaign to do that.
Oh my god.
Wow. You take 19 radiant damage. I guess as this thing sort of suddenly appears next to where you are, you know, this magma method explodes next to you, and then this thing just superheats the room, and you are standing right next to it, taking the 19 radiant damage. 26 will hit, however.
Okay, so 26 to hit, and that is going to be 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I then, keeping the momentum, swing again for 16 to hit
That hits.
for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then up comes the flurry of blows. My fist glow purple as I then punch it for 16 to hit.
Yep.
I am going to invoke my open hands technique as I punch this creature. I'm going to expend a key point, and this creature now needs to make a dexterity saving throw
Natural 1.
and be knocked prone.
Can you be proned?
Dunno.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, the thing kind of stumbles, falling backwards, rolling onto its side.
Okay, then I punch downwards on an arc on its head for my last punch. With advantage, I guess. For 16 to hit.
That hits.
For 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Do you get damage for the previous strike that you did? Where you invoked the prone bullshit?
Let me see. 16, and then unarmed strike was 16. Sorry, I'm blind.
You, yeah, you struck it and then it had to make a save, but surely you do damage on that as well.
Oh, yeah. So another 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright, it looks pretty fucked up.
Okay. But not fucked up enough to die. So, in that case, I am then going to... let me just double check this so I'm not using too many turns. As a bonus action on your turn, so I can't use this. I'm then going to step away. So 5, 10, oops. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm here now. Well, I'm going to try and be.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
It does not try and attack you or anything. Cirrus,
Patting myself down.
roll me 2d10. And take 16 radiant damage as you are also sort of present when this thing appears. Sia punches it a few times. It loses its balance, falls to the ground. Whatever small bits of material that are in this room, some of the rags that were on the beds all ignite. But it is your turn.
I cast Autoluke's Resilient Sphere.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Are we sure that's Rax not
Really?
manipulating time right now? I got deja vu.
Here comes a deck save.
Yeah.
A 17 again.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Literally are. Just, oh my god.
I'm-
Wow.
So upset. Okay, I'm going to run this way
Oh, good.
Run this
a
way.
bunch.
Oh,
Oh no, I see
shit.
Jilden now. Jilden's not doing so hot. And
I'm
then I'm
actually
going
very
to cast
hot.
mass healing
Everyone's on
word.
fire.
Yeah. Okay, just have to double check here. Okay, mass healing word on everyone. Everyone gets 6 healing, guys.
Yippee.
What a savings.
Yippee. That's it for my turn. Thank you very much. I
Okay.
tried.
Jilden,
Thank you
it's
for the
your
healing,
turn.
my friend. Oh man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Shoot. How is it my turn already? It's fine. I'm running on fumes. I have nothing left.
It looks pretty rough, right?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And it's prone as well.
Yeah, I don't know if Jilden can really make any of that out, but yes.
Let's see.
Oh.
I'm gonna run 30 foot this way.
The thing is sort of thrashing around on the ground, trying to
60
right
feet away.
itself and stand up.
Dang it. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have many options, unfortunately. Okay.
All right. Gonna have to time sensitive pressure you here for an answer.
I know. I'm sorry.
Would you like
I'm
to
usually
phone a
really
friend?
prepared. Oh no! Oh God, no!
Can
I'm
you
gonna-
heal yourself? Can you give yourself
Not
healing?
enough. That's worth my final spell slot, to be honest.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get a bonus action to dash and move out of line of sight around that corner while I prepare my next spell.
Okay. Brings us to this creature's turn. I think that it will stand up and then just sort of teleport itself again. Right in here. Probably makes sense. The thing just sort of appears next to you all. And it's Thrak's turn. Roll me 2d10, please, Thrak. Well, actually, how
forgot I
high
can
up are
hold
you?
an
Yeah,
action.
you're like 20 feet.
I'm
right?
20 feet. Yeah. So I still take it.
Yep,
As you had to teleport right next to me, didn't you?
I did.
Instead of in the center of all of us. Is this? You have some sort of problem with me, Brad?
He just went to the middle of where it can see.
Yeah. Okay. I believe you.
All right, which just happens to be exactly where you are.
Okay. So 2d10, right?
Yes.
6 damage, and let me roll concentration to see if I fall to my death. I do. Can I use the advantage there with my inspiration?
You can.
I do not fall.
All
Wow,
right.
you're so kind. You're such a kind GM.
I know.
That sounded really sarcastic, but you actually are.
I am. I make up for the kindness by being an absolute bastard in real life.
Yes, that is true. So I've taken 6 damage, but I'm still in the air, and I'll do a magic missile. How many pints of blood does he have? This is roleplay speak, so I'm allowed to ask.
The fucking fire demon.
How many pints of blood What do you say?
I don't think he
had?
has any pints of blood.
Okay. Well,
How many
that doesn't
pints of
help at all,
fire
does
does he have inside his
it? How
body?
many pints of magma left in his
Yeah.
bones?
Pints of magma. Probably 3 pints.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna do. I'm hoping for the best here, and I'll just do magic missile. Actually, you know what? I'll do magic missile at level 4. We'll go ahead and burn a level 4 spell slot, and
How do
that
you kill
means
it?
it's.
How do you kill it?
Oh God!
I mean, you
okay.
can't miss with magic missiles, so they
No, you cannot miss. No.
launch out. They fly forwards towards this creature, and yeah, I think we see this creature just. It isn't really like you strike it with these things. We see a couple of these missiles hit, and it just turns to smoke, and is sort of immediately just dispelled from the area rather than like falling over and screeching. You do hear a sort of as it is destroyed. The room is still on fire. The tapestries above you are flaming. The beds in the other room are all still on fire as well. But the creature appears to be gone. You hear echoing down the halls again. But for now, you are out of combat. And in a still burning room.
Oof. At least she's having fun, I see as I slump my back to the wall.
Get me out of here! I don't want to be here anymore.
What happened?
And Bradwood,
Where
When?
did you go? The 3 of you disappeared, and then you came back and you were very injured. But Jilden was right. Let's get out of here, I suppose.
Right.
What do you mean? Get out of here. Leave entirely.
Do we still have that shell? That protective sphere?
We do.
Perhaps maybe now might be a time to use it to regain our faculties.
We can't not rest for long.
Well, I mean, any rest is better than no rest.
Don't
Yes.
think we have a choice.
I actually have a question here for like mechanics wise.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we're in the end game and we should not be taking many long rests. That's correct, right?
I have absolutely no idea what you mean by that.
Well, I think we're on a timer,
had
right?
said
Like
that-
things.
You had said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Time is
as in
against us.
you are, time is against
Like
you.
be
I see what you mean.
cognizant
Sorry,
of
yeah.
time.
I
yeah.
I thought you meant that mechanically in D&D you can't do long rests at the end of a
No,
campaign.
sorry. You're right. It's just I
I don't know why I.
No, it's because I said that and then I
yes,
didn't
no,
put in a
there
comma.
is a world clock that is ticking down. So every time you do choose to do long rests, the things in the world continue moving on. AKA, and most pressing, Mordrill flying around at fucking
Yeah.
light speed like he can do.
Yeah.
Will move significantly closer to wherever he's headed. So, yeah, being aware of that. Yeah, it's up to you whether you want to do long rests and short rests and things. Short rests, really, there's not really much of a penalty to that world clock.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that I will not be super useful without a long rest. So we should maybe save it for when we have to be useful. I guess.
Well, I mean, when do we have to be
We
useful?
have to rest.
Okay.
there's no time like the present.
You are injured. We will not be of any use to anyone.
What is that enchanting smell over there? Smells like
I
Steel.
side-eyed Jordan a little.
I have still not muting your eye line, by the way. Not related to this, but from last time. They're still there.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and in fact, Sirius would probably notice as well that I've just not.
Sirius,
have
make
not
me an
been-
insight check
Ooh, okay.
on the rest of the group here.
Oh,
We'll just
this
base
is
this on how
wonderful.
high you roll more than anything.
Oh, great. 10.
You are not
So
aware of
natural.
the stifling awkwardness between the three of them.
Great. That's fine. That's what Cura's about anyway.
I mean, it
right?
really, you rolling natural ones and me rolling natural 20s. Yeah.
This is
A
brutal.
natural one for a 10, by the way. With a plus
Yeah.
9. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's rest then. Get that bowl out.
What was
Ah,
the magic word again? I forget.
Jesus.
There was an
Who's
activation word
holding
for
it?
that
It's
thing.
not me.
It wasn't me.
I
Piece
fucking
of
I know.
flaming tapestry falls down between you all.
Douche. Well, hurry up then. It's a good thing I write these things down. Go, go, gadget protective spear, I say.
Oh,
What was
that's
it?
right. That's right. That's actually correct. I remember it now.
Yeah, this thing appears. The thing sort of starts to create the bubble of the tiny hut effects of this little thing that you used plenty of times at the beginning of the campaign, and we haven't used since, and I've forgotten what it does. And you are able to all sort of clamber inside with the area around you continuing to sort of be on fire for a little while until the tapestries that were on fire run out of tapestry and, you know, slowly begin to peter out. There's only a few elements in these rooms that are actually flammable because of the stone and everything. The fire doesn't spread or may, you know, create any sort of horrible, dangerous scenario for you all while you're trapped in there in a bubble. Luckily for you. And you're able to take a rest in this place. Let's see here. So you're all doing rests. What does that look like
yes.
for each of you? It's a roughly a span of about 8 hours that you'll
For a
need
long
to spend.
For me, it's just wiping off ash and debris from a body that was once mine. Making sure everything is as put together as I can before going back on my knees and into a trance. My wax handbook that I've been keeping to myself this entire time, I instinctively reach back out to, and I'm not sure if it's been damaged at all by the fire, but regardless, I go back to my ways and close my eyes and rest and recover.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so. I think if you're going in and out of this, the bowl, which you can do, it really doesn't. Nothing seems to be seeking you out. Nothing seems to sort of come wandering down the halls. For the most part, you are left alone for most of this time, I think. What's everyone else doing with their rest?
I think I would have laid down like I normally would have, just acted alive and gone to sleep. Gone to whatever sleep this body can have.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Orc sleep.
Okay. Do I need to end the stream? We all. I thought I was the one on 3 hours sleep.
I'm
What's
just being a
this?
bastard. No, I mean I would sleep for the full 8 hours to get my full rest, but if there's
You don't have to sleep for the long rest
Okay, yeah. I would at some point when everyone is awake, if everyone is awake, I would say, if there was any time for you to put on those bracelets, now might be it.
Oh, all right.
I look to Thrak momentarily, then regard myself again. My skin, my clothes. They're not mine anymore. I think that much has been made sure or made certain so far. So I don't care. And so I reach into my satchel, grab the bangle, and then put it on.
Okay. You attune to the bangle. As it bites into your skin, remember this thing is constantly scratching at your skin and sort of almost drinking a drop of blood every day.
Well, I can't say you're one for craftsmanship, Thrak. This is quite the... Do you have a ring sizer?
I just stare at him, and then I look at Cirrus. I think I'm sort of... I've also got my little portable alchemy table out, and I'm doing little bits. Nothing too complicated.
Yes, I put the bangle on as well, and I will attune to it.
Cool. Yeah, the second one goes on. Biting into your wrist.
I look at Jilden.
I have my back to everybody. I'm laying down on my bedroll, staring at the wall of this bowl, and I listen to you say this, and I look at the bangle. And I begin to unweave it from my staff, though where it has been placed for all this time. And I stare at it a bit more, and then from my pocket I pull a number of trinkets, one of them being the rune that I stole a long time ago. Upon it, a symbol of protection. And I stare at it for a while. And then I attempt to crush the rune. And then, as the splinters of whatever it was made of, bone or wood, litter the mat in front of me, I place on the bangle.
And this bites into your wrist. You feel the effects of the attunement take hold. And, at the end of this long rest, you'll be able to use the effects of the bangle.
Can
you remind me what those were again? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you also have a handout.
Bangle of Vol
I
under
believe
items.
it's a trait called fashion faux pas.
The bangle of Vol. The three of you have got the bangle of Vol, and Thrak has the angelic bangle of Vol. So this pierces the user's skin. When activating the ability, the bangle drains the user of a portion of their blood. While wearing this magical silver bangle, you may activate it at any time and immediately gain an additional action. The user immediately suffers a level of exhaustion.
Cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't state that it's an action or a bonus action to use it. It just says any time. So you can literally use it any time. Wow. This is broken. I love it.
It's very broken.
It's,
Yes.
I
Power
don't
of
think
an
it's
angel.
an action or a bonus action. I think it's just
Yeah,
a thing.
that's cool. It's a feature.
An incidental.
Desandevastan is what it is.
Are you censoring your marmalade?
I saw that.
Showing everyone a
Shielding her
butthole.
cat's arsehole.
Alright.
This is a professional broadcast. Can't be having cat
As
bomb.
I'm... Come on, get it together. As I'm sort of tinkering, it takes 1 minute for me to make a healing elixir. Is that all right?
Yeah.
It's a spell.
Yeah, you've got 8 hours.
Yeah, so I'll cast I'll make a healing elixir. And then while I'm doing that, I'm just sort of not really talking to anyone directly. But I say, we are nearing the end now. It's, I think, important to remember our past is our past. And we have all done things. That's all I say. I just keep tinkering.
We've all done things. I mutter to myself as I go back to my meditation.
Well, you know, in my order, clerics of Bull, we sometimes we would go to the mountain and find a corner at its base, crack in the stone. You could whisper things in there, the things you were ashamed of, things you wanted the mountain to take from you. We don't really have that here, but could help if you felt like you wanted to unburden yourself before the end.
I open an eye again for meditation, and I looked at Sirius and I go, "Darling, where is all this coming from? What are we on about here?"
Oh, well, Threk was just saying, you know, the past is the past, and we've all done things, and I certainly have done things that I still carry, but perhaps since it is so close to the end.
Forgive
Maybe
me,
we
I'm
can-
still not following. Done things. Done things what? I say straight-faced, now both eyes open.
Oh, I think you know what I mean. I once drank the blood of a family of merchants that were brave or stupid enough to come through Ixalan. We've all done things, but our past is just that.
I've
Doesn't
drank blood
change
before.
who we are now.
Seer literally looks perplexed as he looks to Thrak and goes, "I've drank blood before. I'm still not quite following what you mean."
I stop for a moment and look up at him over my spectacles. Well, I never doubted that.
Seer looks
Why?
honestly perplexed.
You hear a voice from the corner.
Why?
Why what?
Why did you drink blood, see?
Well, I was parched at the time, and it was going to go off otherwise. There was, how would you say, Oh, this takes me back. There were a couple that made their way through Menzabaranzan a long time ago. And I think perhaps they made their way to, well, somewhere where they were not supposed to. And good blood's a waste.
You just felt like it. You just did it for yourself.
When you are thirsty, how else do you slake it? I paid good money for it, mind you.
I can't decide if that makes it worse or better.
But it doesn't really matter now, does it? He's here with us. I myself, I look at him.
I shrug. I mean, granted, more could be done with it, maybe, perhaps spice it, fry it up, put it inside a skin, perhaps, make a sausage out of it, but, it was high summer. We learn, I guess.
All those people are gone now. All of them. No matter what choice you might have made in the moment, no matter what choices all of us made, those people are dead anyway.
But some by our hands. Some by mine. People who lived and I made the choice. Whether they died, as Mordrill does now. And I made those choices easily. At the time, it was easy.
We've lived a life of mortals. Sometimes that includes violence. And from some perspectives, that violence is wrong.
Sorry, but
Does not change. We are here now. And without us, none of it would have any meaning at all. Not the violence, not the pain we caused or the pain we've endured. None of it will matter if we fail. Succeeding is a way to honor those that perhaps we have done wrong to.
We succeed. To create a world off our backs, a world off the backs of people who kill. People who are unrelenting. People who don't care. Isn't it sort of fucked up, really, the way that goodness never really mattered? It never really mattered what all those people wanted, all those people we hurt in our own ways. What kind of fair world is that? How is that a world worth saving anyway?
well, it's
Why?
Go on.
Why do you think goodness doesn't matter if it fails sometimes? It
Sometimes.
succeeded others.
Is it succeeding now?
Well, we're still here.
Arguably, perhaps the worst dregs of humanity, the worst that the world has had to offer, by the sounds of it. We are the ones who are left. Us. We are the ones, the pillars of a new world.
Your logic is faulty.
flawed.
I think by most standards in most societies, I might be the best of my entire people.
I looked at the floor at that statement.
I don't think that you're the dregs, Jilden. Nor you, Thrak. Nor you, Seer.
I never said I was. Nor am I a human.
know.
Thank you.
If it's all to just have one person think that you are good, know that you are good, have seen you do good, I've borne witness to your goodness. It is not lost on me, and I'm here with you at the end of it all. So I know it lives. I know it means something.
Make sense.
No, it doesn't. You know, when I came to Moon, that's what I needed. I looked to the mountain for things to make sense. And for a time they did. But I've learned that my lesson was not to find sense in things, but instead to find the truth in things. And the truth is that things are not always fair. And things are not always good.
I look
Just-
up to... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I look up to Jilden. After Cirrus says the word good again. And I say... So from what I can tell, we've all done things, whatever that means. Now, whatever this thing it is that you've done, Jilden, do you believe yourself to be past redemption?
What does redemption matter? What does any of that matter, really?
Well, I suppose it doesn't. Does it?
Do not misunderstand me. I do not say these things because I am looking for pity. I don't need you to change my mind. I have done terrible things. It sounds like all of us have. Terrible.
Speak for yourself.
Some of us feel shame, some of us don't. And the acts are terrible nonetheless.
I feel shame. But in actions that require it. Or in actions that deserve it. I've done nothing of my own volition, I think, that would carry such a name.
But even if you did, it wouldn't matter. Because there are people out there who you would find innocent, and most people would find innocent and good. And they depend on us now. They do, and everyone else that makes them look so innocent and good by being maybe a little like us.
I just wonder what happens after everything is said and done. For I do not have shame of my actions. I do not fear who I was. I do not regret what I have done. I regret that I did it in service of some things. I let something be the guiding force in my actions. I enjoyed everything I did. Everything I did. long for those days. I wish I was still traveling through the forests. I wish I was still able to indulge my whims, my fantasies, everything I wanted at my fingertips. I wanted all of it still. I have no shame. I don't want to be at the service of another creature, another living thing ever again. With a world of gods, angels is what we are trying to achieve again. There's not one that pleases me. That is all I will say.
If you enjoyed yourself, under thrall or no of some other being, then what does it matter? Then you enjoyed yourself. Currently, you are not under sway, at least as far as we can tell. So what does it matter? You've still got...
It matters because it is not a world I wish to cultivate. A world I wish others to endure. And yet we create it nonetheless. We create a world in which people are going to knowingly suffer under the hands of people like us. That is what we are going for here. That is what we are trying to do. We are trying to save this world that Mordrill wants to create, to, in its place, create something with suffering all of its own. We are knowingly doing so.
There will always be suffering, Jilden.
Yes,
there is no life without it.
Strife makes life, as they say.
It is just something to behold, is it not? To have that power in your hands. To know that you are in the process of creating something like that. To create misery and joy. To choose to bring those things and manifest them into reality. You are choosing. We are choosing to do that with our action and inaction.
It's funny. I don't feel that way. I still feel so powerless. Like it's not in my hand at all. I march towards something out of my control, and I push my will against it, hoping I can be just enough to move it out of its path. But I don't know if that will work. And I don't know if I will have mattered enough to be the person to make the choice. You don't know that what we do will change anything, or guarantee suffering, or guarantee goodness or life, or we just do it and see.
There's a surface saying that I heard once. I believe it goes, ignorance is bliss. Well, you seem reticent to know that you were under the sway of some other being, that your actions were perhaps not your own even though you enjoyed them. I've spent months now under the yoke of this Quura bond, connected in ways I didn't necessarily know were possible nor correct. And all the time I suppose I knew that I had a choice in the matter. Since I did know, I was able to choose to follow, choose to guide. I use inverted commas. To help, again, my eyes roll. But there was agency in it. Right now, as the world crumbles around us, another banner falls on the dome and sloughs off the side, as the world literally burns around us, and there is nothing to do but go forwards, I simply choose to do so. It's curiosity now. There's either oblivion. And what fun is that? A campfire. Or...
Freedom.
Exactly. Right now, my freedom is the freedom to choose. I could choose to leave this dome and step into the fire, maybe perhaps find another one of those fire demons and snog it and just smolder. Or kill that bitch outside, find the spear, stab a dragon and see what happens. And if that's boring, then I'll die. Until then, who knows what will do. And that's...
There's the very illusion of choice that makes you think that, though.
I mean... Do you really want to get in the sticks of illusion and illusion of choice? Do I have to stand up, leave the sphere, come back inside and say, that was my choice? Or you say, oh, that you think perhaps maybe that was your choice, but an illusion?
I don't misunderstand. Being thralled to a being throughout your entire life, knowing you have choices still. I made choices. I was not forced to do anything I did. I chose to do them.
Right.
And now, the very bane of my existence is knowing that once again I am the pawn of something greater.
I pull the scarf from my throat to expose the Quura brand that's on my neck.
And knowing that I have choice once again to continue, and I continue nonetheless to do this. Despite every fiber of my being saying I do not want to be a pawn again.
In that you and I are on the same boat, I think. But we do know what the choices are. Oblivion. Or... kindred. I say, choking out the words.
Is the choice to move forward not... Doesn't that make it your own choice? And you are not a pawn.
But we do it
You
because
walk
we
your own
must.
Square.
I do this out of obligation.
Do you?
I don't want to save this world. This world is terrible. This world has been nothing but terrible to me. I have been nothing but terrible to it. I don't want to save this. The only freedom I have is in oblivion. Ridding this fiend from my mind. I choose to do this out of obligation because perhaps I am, with you folk, the only one who can. And perhaps things are better than myself, bigger than myself. But regardless, it is obligation nonetheless.
I stand and I draw my sword. If you ask it. You need not live in obligation.
I
I will
stand.
free you.
I let the tip of the sword hit my chest plate.
Now you can choose.
I wanted to stay by that campfire with every fiber of my being. But here I am. Regardless of the fact it is obligation, I am doing this to try and do, for the first time in my life, perhaps something unselfish. Regardless, it is obligation. But I'm trying not to do this for me. I'm trying to do this for you. The hope you have in a world that perhaps should exist.
I keep the sword drawn at the front of your shell. You say it is obligation, but it sounds like choice to me. Does it matter why you make the choice? You still made it. You say the word, and I will free you.
Will you? Do you think you have that power?
I look her dead in the eye.
You'll get every ounce of power that I have. I cannot offer more than what I am.
And you cannot promise through the length of your steel freedom, the freedom I need. Please do not make promises you cannot keep.
I think we could easily find a way to give you your Livian children. If I'm not mistaken, though, I made sure you all wanted to come back. But here we are, in the lair, the demon who wronged you, who haunts you, and through our connection haunts us all. If destroying this creature does not give you some relief, we could find another method for you.
I sheath my sword. And I reach out a hand and sort of linger it over your shoulder before dropping it down on your shoulder.
If doing all this for the greater good is what is laying on your conscience, that it's not yours, then perhaps maybe just consider it the greater coincidence, perhaps. You're still doing what you want to do, and everything else that's happening alongside it's just happening because.
There was a moment that I almost joined Mordreal. But I just could not bear the idea of him having domain over my mind. I am with you because you are the closest thing to freedom I have at this point. For now. But mark my words. If there comes a time where something more fitting presents itself, I will choose that pathway.
You should know that oblivion is the only guarantee you will ever have. It will come for you eventually.
I certainly hope so. Until then, let us continue our illusion of choice.
Well, I, for one, will enjoy killing again. Killing your demon.
Do so with a smile on your face. But if we are to face Anaware, we should be careful. As you are well aware, her proficiency for illusion, for trickery is high. She is capable beyond imagination. Please, keep your wits about you.
I will make her beg before the end.
I'm nothing but my wits.
She underestimates us. That is how we defeat her.
I look to each of them and crack a small smile and nod.
Also cracking a smile. Hanging upside down from the ceiling like a grotesque, silent predator is Anaware. Her form is both sort of eerily graceful and nightmarishly wrong. And as I think we see the dome, this sort of terracotta looking dome in the center of this room with all of this kind of smoldering tapestries hanging down from the ceiling. Look up into the gloom of the ceiling. You can see this almost human face. The face of a sort of traditionally stunning woman. Short curled hair framing these almost flawless features. Her face has these sort of strange jagged black tattoos that are etched like cracks or a fragile mask. She has yellow eyes that gleam with a sort of reptilian malice. These two horns that curl upwards from her head but downwards towards the terracotta looking dome, while the few of you continue to have your conversation. These enormous wings, massive and sort of leathery like those of a bat, are furled around her body. What appears to be sort of dark, sinuous clothing is in fact her skin, sort of tough looking, almost scaled, an exoskeleton that runs across her body, looking a little like sort of sequins shimmering in some of the smouldering fire of the half light in this room, some of the gleam from the blue light, the walls. These unnaturally long legs end in cloven hooves that are elegant and twisted, almost like bizarre high heels that are gripping onto parts of the ceiling. And there are tendrils of shadow that cling to her, and then they drop like ink, hitting the top of the terracotta looking roof of this sheltering bowl that you're in. As they hit the roof, you see them dispersed by the magic of the sheltering bowl, and a smile curls across her face, and then she's gone again. You each get the effects of a long rest here after somewhere around 8 hours pass. Some time was spent during conversation, some parts of the 8 hours were spent sleeping. You know, we'll maybe see you sort of like bandaging wounds or checking parts of your clothing that have been burned, and just adjusting your packs and preparing yourselves. After the 8 hours are finished, the bowl sort of naturally starts to undo itself, shrinking again and becoming, you know, no longer a hut, but the bowl once more, the sheltering bowl. You were undisturbed throughout this evening, but perhaps that is unnerving in of itself. You've been sort of harassed by several creatures, so harassed by Anaware's illusions, but she seems to have left you alone during this rest. Once the bowl sort of breaks apart again, you can make a quick glance about, check each of the doorways. Doesn't appear to be anything sort of stalking you or waiting for you. And you're once again able to continue to explore if you'd like.
Well then, once more. I say to my companions, looking around. And should they not respond, I make the
I
first
would
steps
be
towards the neck.
Getting up. Yeah, I would be getting up.
Yes,
Yes.
I get up, adjusting this horrible band on my wrist. It's incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, one by one, I think Sia sort of leads the way into the next chamber here, which is a pretty large-looking chamber. Again, another circular room with a domed ceiling. This ceiling actually has sort of artwork on it, paint, very old-looking, faded, dark blue paint with sort of speckled, tiny white stars. And at the center of the ceiling above you as you come in, it's kind of hard to miss as your attention is drawn upwards. There is a set of crystals that are kind of hanging down, jutting awkwardly. They appear to be sort of embedded into a silver-looking framework that is sitting comfortably at the center of the ceiling of the chamber. And the crystal here kind of shifts in brightness. There is a slight hue to it as it cycles through sort of dim phases that almost mimic the phases of the moon, and you recognize after a moment that the shifts of light in the room change a little bit. Again, it's not a brightly lit room, and once you move out from the room that you lit with your own moonlight spell, this room doesn't have any of those celestial markings or any lights to it, apart from the very dim light that's not really even casting a light across this room, just sitting within the crystal itself. Nothing crazy happens as you step into the room. This doesn't feel like a trap or necessarily feel like an illusion or anything like that, but you sort of just notice that is probably really the only thing in this room of any note. Maybe I guess I'll have Cirrus and Sia can make me religion checks.
Okay.
I would like to cast a
16.
spell while this is happening.
24.
What is the spell first?
I cast Conjure Minor Elementals.
Okay.
And because this is the one that takes a minute to cast. So
Yeah.
and I bring a one elemental of challenge rating 2. I bring Azir, which is a medium elemental. I can link to you.
Yeah, he is a League of Legends character. I know.
Yeah, okay. Right, nerd.
Yeah, this sort of like, it's almost like a dwarf-looking thing that appears in the room next to you. I don't know how you're doing this.
Yeah, pretty much. He kind of just forms from the earth beside me, slowly, like building bit by bit by bit by bit until he's just standing next to me, waiting
Does
for
it look
orders.
deliberate that she's doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
And
what's that?
I'm
you-
muttering to myself and sort of like crafting as I
you
go.
summon up this. Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. If it's sort of just like a thing that comes up out of the ground, there's like a thing the size and shape of a dwarf maybe that is made out of bits of the ground with an element of fire to it, that appears next to Jilden and is sort of a servant to you. It is friendly to you and your companions, and it will obey any sort of verbal commands. Otherwise, we'll just assume that it's quietly following you around.
Yeah, he looks pretty gnarly. In fact, he probably has like similar look to me, really. It's sort of scaled, like Jordan's scales, but his head is sort of tipped with flame, and he carries a shield and a big hammer.
What manner of creature is this? Feeling homesick? I say with a weird, contorted look on my face.
You ever heard the expression fight fire with fire?
I pat
No.
my creature on the shoulder.
I guess I'll find out today then.
What's his name?
Never thought to give him one. I can name him if you like.
I turn to him. Excuse me, what's your name?
He just makes a horrific sound. Does not speak common at all.
I will try to remember that.
There's quite a bit of a language barrier between us. It's
How
quite
about we
difficult to
name him
have a conversation.
after the first deed he does?
You're probably just gonna name him Smash or something, but that's fine. Yes.
Burn.
Yes.
Does he walk or float? Because he could be walker.
He's on the ground firmly,
Okay.
taking big molten steps with every foot, making horrendous sounds.
What was that, Thrak?
Nothing. Let's continue on.
Okay, yeah, you should have control over this creature and token and stuff if you want. As you each continue into this room, again, nothing crazy jumps out at you or anything like that. The two of you that rolled religion checks would be aware that this room seems to be, it seems reminiscent, I think, to sort of a meditation chamber. You get the sense that some time ago this was probably a place that people came to and they did group meditative acts, whereas there are several places throughout here that have mats on the ground that clearly, rugs and that kind of thing, that people might use to meditate, but this seems like a communal meditation room with this sort of lunar cycle crystal hanging above you. It's a relatively peaceful room.
So, if it's a ceremonial room at a glance, is it still like, relatively haphazard things looking like they were like people were here but then they left in a hurry? Is there a collections box, items, that kind of thing, or is it bare?
It's pretty bare. There are some random mats around, circular looking mats, like kneeling mats, but really nothing of note in terms of items or belongings and things like that. Again, no corpses, no bones, nothing that suggests that people were killed in here and left or anything like that.
If the boss at the end of this is just one Katamari of dead bodies, I'd be so upset. It's like, that's where they all are.
Let me just
Katamari of corpses
thing.
is...
So not everything that you had planned.
I'll continue looking around the room. Say there's one exit.
Yes, sorry, there is only one exit. So this is not actually an exit. There's just a big pillar that seems to be a sort of supporting structure from... You know that you're inside of a mountain, so that every now and then there are columns that just support the kind of dome. And then there are just these enormous columns that probably hold, this structure in place within the mountain rather than have the mountain come down on anything. So there is just a single exit that leads north into a smaller chamber that appears to be very similar to the first one that you were in, or the chamber that you're in now. This one seems to be a smaller meditation room. In here, and since it's been 8 hours, roll me a d20 each of you.
In the larger chamber or in
It doesn't matter
smaller
where. You were
chamber?
you were supposed to do it at the end of the long rest, but you didn't because
Oh,
I
yes.
forgot.
A d20, okay.
10.
This Thrak, he's not dead.
No, this is something else. You also need to do
Okay.
your other thing as well.
Right, we got a
15.
10, we got a 17, we got a 15 and a 2.
Whose is the 2?
That's me.
If you recall, I think it was Sia. This was 2 weeks ago. Had the sensation of light sources shifting between blue, red, and cream here.
Okay.
You also have this now. So everything in here takes on a sort of, and this is, during the course of the long rest, I think, but maybe you only really notice it as you start to move around. Things start to take on a subtle hue of blue, red, and cream in this place. Who got the 15?
Serious.
Metal feels warmer/colder. So your metal items, things like armor, weapons, anything that you touch, anything you put a hand to, will periodically feel either warmer or colder than expected without explanation.
Okay.
While you're in here. Who got the 10?
Help me.
Hilden?
Yep.
A rhythmic pulse, like a heartbeat, occasionally thrums in the air, creating tension or dread.
That's good. I haven't felt any of those.
Yeah, it's just my daily life as well.
Being 30.
What does that feel like?
And then what do we have? A 17 for Sia. When small items may appear to move slightly when you're not quite looking at them, as though displaced by an unseen force while you're moving through these halls. Now,
When does that happen? Did it happen now?
it's been happening the whole time since your long rest. Somewhere during your long rest, it started to happen. It's almost like, I don't know if you've ever had such a lack of sleep that shadows start to move around all the time around you,
Right,
and you start
yeah.
to feel weird. I feel like it's maybe something like that that's happening. It isn't so obvious that you're looking at an item and it moves. It's just at the edges of
I'm
your
looking
vision.
away from it. All right.
Yeah, maybe from the corner of your eye.
Okay. In which case, I think I take a coin, I put it on the floor, then I walk up to Jilden and go, Jilden,
What?
watch this thing. I put the coin on the floor, look away from it. Is that thing moving right now or no?
Is it?
No, it's definitely not.
I don't think so.
And you're sure?
I get real close to it. Like until my eyeball is almost touching the floor.
No, it's still, I think.
DM, is my previous color vision thing, is it gone in place of this, or is it stacked?
No, you have both of these things now.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Interesting. I just walk back to the coin, pick it up, and is it where I put it down?
I think it is, yeah. If you're able to recall such specifics, yeah.
Right. Okay. I pick it up and put it
What is
away.
this? Is this some ritual? I've never seen this before. What are you doing?
No, I just... Ever since I woke up, this place has felt a bit off. At least things around it have. But not when I look at them.
Take care. Could be another of Anuare's tricks.
Quite likely. Anybody else experiencing anything similar?
Well, my armor is really warm, but
I've never worn armor before. Does it not get warm normally? I put the back of my hand against her chest plate.
it's warm. It's warmer than body heat, but it's
Do
not.
I feel it being warm
burning.
or not?
No, you don't perceive the level of warmness. It's probably quite cool, actually, if it's the outside of the armor.
Feels pretty cold to me.
You're not getting a fever, are you?
Can she?
I don't know. I've never been dead until now.
Do the dead get fever? Oh no, the dead get gas. I just have a 1,000-yard stare.
I turn to them all and say, perhaps it's something to do with your condition. I feel absolutely fine. Let's
Maybe.
go.
All right.
Speaking of your conditions, each of you needs to roll me a d6.
Oh.
Dilden, you're okay.
4.
You're okay.
5.
You're okay. You lose the unstable connection effect of the previous thing. So one of you will have had maybe disadvantage on strength-based checks. You know, that thing. That goes away, and also you don't accrue a new one
Nice.
with your long rest. Okay. So let me remind myself of that. And yeah, the room is safe to move through. You come to another sort of smaller meditation room next. It is in this room there are more of these mats and rugs that one might use to kneel upon, or even some of the longer ones look like people may use them to lie upon. This room feels very similar to the one that you were just in that it is sort of maybe another meditation chamber of sorts, but this one feels a bit more like it was designed to lie in this room in probably some sort of state of communion with Elnaeus, and attempt to reach that state of, I guess, nirvana and receive one of these blessings, receive one of these visions of what might come to pass with these sort of prophetic visions that are here in this smaller room. Again, very little in here, and again, no bones, no bodies or anything like that. Can I get some perception checks for those of you that are in this room up here? Unless you're all together, we can.
Is it dark?
It is, yes. You continue to.
If it is dark,
see
then the
shit.
spiders are following you as usual.
Oh, I am. I'm in the game.
Also, your little friend gives off light.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
but
Yeah,
not
let me
much.
see if I can
He
light
does
him up.
30 feet. I think it was 30 feet of
10-foot
light
radius
and
of bright light.
10.
10-foot of dim light additional.
A's as a torch.
There you go. So you be able to see. Can you see what he sees? Can you see what he sees?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So let me see here. Thrak, Seer definitely, and Cirrus. Give me perception checks.
Yeah.
11.
11.
16.
19.
I got a 20 if it matters.
No, it doesn't. I don't think you have the distance.
You gave up your right to see in the dark to be a cool turtle that can hold its breath for an extra minute, okay?
And
In
my
a
god, has that
landlocked
been
campaign.
useful in this campaign?
As
bonus
you
days either,
move into this room, I think Cirrus, Seer, and Thrak peer into the next room, and as your eyes adjust with the dark vision to the room ahead of you, you see it finally. A pile of bones is in this next room. It's quite hard to make out at first, but you recognize that this is a mound of pale, sort of jagged bones that are piled up but still scattered around this room. You get the sense that these are what we'll call human bones, but they'll probably be from a few different species. Human, we're just going to use as a catch-all for elves, orcs, humans, dwarves, that kind of thing. There's some skulls in there that kind of bring that home for you as well. A rib cage, jagged limbs, spines protruding at strange angles appear to be piled up in this next room.
Is the pile perhaps Katamari in nature?
I guess, I don't know if you know.
No, okay.
From this distance.
All right.
Where is it? Sorry. Which?
It's
it
in the
is
other room.
Over
It's in the
here.
next room.
You should
Okay.
just be able to see it, I think, on the edge of your dark vision. Could always just walk up.
Sure. I mean, why not?
Strolling in.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've forgotten.
Go ahead. Stroll in.
Mm-hmm.
Jilden,
Oh,
you are
God.
following behind these three as their eyes seem to sort of catch something. And I think for you see them move into this room. You see Thrak move over towards this pile of bones and begin to do his Thrak thing, maybe like a hand on a chin as he starts to observe these things and study them. Seer takes a look around the corners of the room, has a sort of an air of, I don't know what it wouldn't be fearful, but maybe some sort of anticipation as this pile of bones, maybe something tells Seer that it's going to rush up and something's going to happen to him. Something's going to attack him. Cirrus takes a few steps forward, maybe crosses the threshold into this room and takes a more solemn approach, I would imagine, to a pile of human bones. But for you, Jilden, the threshold of this room looks a little different. The light provided by the Azar as you approach allows your eyes to adjust, and yeah, you can just about make out what the others are doing as they step through comfortably in the darkness with their dark vision, and you just about make out this pile of bones too, but you see something else sort of moving and shuffling across the room, barely perceptible at first, but beginning to sort of grow more obvious to your vision and coalescing and swirling and gathering in front of this doorway. There is a ripple and translucent forms begin to emerge, ghostly figures, their shapes quite indistinct at first but becoming more and more defined as they rise. You stop in your tracks as the doorway is completely blocked by a mass of spectral figures, hollow eyes fixed on yours, faces twisted in varying forms of sort of silent agony, and shifting between these sort of ephemeral and solid states as they drift in and out of view. Among them you notice several larger figures, broad, slow-moving spectres, curved shells, long leathery limbs of turtles, and these ghosts sway, their movements kind of erratic, their eyes filled with a sort of sense of undeniable accusation and judgment as they focus on you. Their mouths are open in silent cries, but you hear no sound. They begin to sort of move around you constantly, just swirling about you, moving around you, appearing and disappearing. What do you do?
Can I feel them? Is it a presence? Do I just see them?
There's a very light pressure to where they are, but that's about it.
I shudder and stay back for a moment. At first, my eyes skating over each of them, trying not to take in any of their features, and then morbidly curious as I begin to look at them closer and closer to see if there's anything I can tell that looks familiar to me. Just a vague representation of people I might have seen once, or very specific people that I know or have known.
Give me an insight check. You can have advantage.
Yay. 12.
A few of them don't seem to spark any sort of memory at first. And then one catches your eye that you completely recognize. Then another, and then another. These are all victims of yours.
I reach a hand out, as though to push one away, gently.
The other three, give me perception checks. Actually, I guess you can just sort of make a passive thing here. You can make a choice if you recognize and see Jilden doing this, or whether you'd be more interested in other elements of the room as you step in.
My passive is 17.
You can justify seeing this. I was going to make you
In the
make a perception
doorway.
check, but I mean, literally behind you as you step through, Jilden is doing some weird stuff.
It looks like it's sort of Tai Chi almost. So
Yeah.
that I've stopped still. My Azza next to me also still kind of just looking around me. I don't look afraid, but I certainly look confused and put off, and I'm moving my hands slowly like this, like I'm almost swimming through the air.
Do I see the thing she sees or no?
Roll me an insight check.
An insight check.
Yeah.
A 12.
You actually do start to see figures as you sort of concentrate on this area. There is almost like a mirage effect for a moment, a shimmering, like a heat mirage, and then figures begin to take form. You recognize that Jilden is sort of surrounded by lots of spectral looking figures. They seem to be intensely focused on Jilden and sort of softly moving around her. It doesn't feel like she's under attack exactly, more like there are these sort of specters. You notice that there's a good portion of them, I would imagine, Jilden, are turtles. And then you see some other figures and varying different races and species. So you see them not as clearly as Jilden does, but you do see them, yeah.
I say, are they giving you trouble?
With that, Thrak and Cirrus, I think maybe you turn your focus back as well, and you can both make me insight checks.
My eyes lock with Sears. His two eyes.
Right.
Cirrus, you see it very clearly as you turn back. I don't think there's even a moment where your eyes need to adjust. You have a full sort of vision of this. You can see it as clearly as Jilden does.
Does Jilden seem distressed in this moment?
No.
Okay.
There's an awful lot of you, isn't there?
Can I feel them as I push my hand out towards them?
Another
Is there
insight
like a-
check.
Physical sensation or anything like that? A 13.
You don't feel them as a thing that your hands feel, but as you reach out towards them, you do feel sort of weird, unresolved emotions that are almost like being reflected onto you from them.
Ooh.
Pain and sorrow and regret. Like,
As
not,
my
not a
hand-
violence thing.
Reaches out to each of them. Those emotions are reflected on my face in brief moments as I wince, cringe, I look shocked suddenly. You see all of these happening all at once, just rippling. And then I pull my hand back.
It is not real.
It is not real.
I step up to Jilden. My right fist lights up, and I use a key-empowered strike to punch at the ghost wall.
yeah, you have absolutely no effect on these things at all. You also don't feel them or have any of the sensations that Jildan does.
Okay.
I got a 20 in insight.
Yeah, you also can see them as clearly as Jildan does.
I will move closer and try to figure out if this is some sort of spell.
Yeah, make me an Arcana check or an investigation check.
22 with Arcana.
22, yeah, there is, this is absolutely a spell that is being cast. You can even trace this through the air as you get this kind of sense of what is actually happening here. In the chamber ahead of you, well, to the south of where you are on this map here, a spell is being weaved that is floating out and being almost puppeteered. There are strings to this spell where you can almost see the puppeteer's strings causing this illusion to happen around Jildan. It's not just creating sort of a major image spell here. There's also an element to this where for you and for the others it is essentially the major image illusory spell. But for Jildan, there's an added element. There is a sort of parasite that lives within her mind and within her consciousness that is able to enhance all of these things and draw from Jildan memories and thoughts and feelings. And it is sort of, yeah, you get the sense of what this spell is. Just ahead of you in this chamber is probably the fiend you are looking for. And that is where we're going to end today's session. Yes. She awaits you next week. Thank you so much for playing, players, and watching, everyone. Fantastic session where I got to sit back for a little bit of it. I do love sitting back and just watching the show.
I thought you should rest.
I'm so happy for it. I've had no sleep.
You need a comic of all the popcorn for
I hope I feel better next week, but I don't know if I will. I think I'm in this for a couple of weeks. So here we go again. Another round of Quura sessions where I show up barely conscious. No one seemed to notice. It's fine.
We just
I don't
depend
know
on
if that's a
Leah
good thing or a bad thing.
being incredible.
Yeah.
Just Leah be incredible.
Carry us all.
Leah, you need
Yeah.
to do
In the
some-
YouTube comments, is Brad okay?
It was the first time for everything. Teehee. For the sake of the comments, Myre has corrected me. It's pronounced Aza and not Aza. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I will do 10 Hail Marys in a time for my sins.
As a
I
usual.
also have a YouTube comment, just so you know, the spell where he made me see different colors had no effect because we were using dark vision where you can't see colors. So there you go. All right, calm down. Okay. So I did not see that out for you.
Cynical.
There is light. There's light from the Azza.
From the Azza, innit?
Yeah. So there is some light to what was going on.
Liaza.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, we'll be back next week with another episode. I just wanted to take a quick moment here to just shout out a couple of new shows that have started on the channel that you might want to watch, since you can get in here in episode 1 and 2 and stuff of a show. It's always fun to be able to watch something along live as it goes. So distracting. I didn't know what was happening. I thought it was me. I was like, oh no. We have a new show on Fridays called Non-Canon, which is a sort of bizarre multiversal story jumping show with some vague minor interactivity from chat. If you've got the dollars, we play that on Fridays at 8 p.m. UK time, which is 3 Eastern USA. It's myself, Wax Steven, and PB running through crazy adventures. And then on Sundays, we have a new show called Deathless, which is a vampire-based thing run by PB. There are 2 cast members in here with us, but which 2 are they? Find out on Sunday. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you on Friday for Non-Canon, Sunday for Deathless, Monday for Gatewalkers, and next Tuesday for the return of Quura. Bye.